our breath here. Noticing if our breaths are deep or shallow this morning. If we breathe into our chest, if we breathe into our belly. Just noticing. Let's check in with our body here. Did you come to this class full of energy? Are you feeling stiff? Are you feeling loose? Are you feeling energetic this morning or afternoon, wherever you are? Check in with your mind. Are your thoughts wandering? Do you feel clear? Do you feel focused? Are you being kind to yourself today? Are you being kind to others? What is the story? Just notice. When we come to our emotions, what words would you use to describe your emotions right now? You can say that to yourself and let that go too. Just a little word on emotions. I read this amazing book by Mark Brackett, The Permission to Feel. And his whole premise is using our emotions as a guide, which is really what I like to bring into this room, using your intuition, your body, your emotions as a guide in this world compared to being scared of it. And I actually started writing cue cards of emotional words, because I've noticed that my emotional language is very limited. And he stressed in the book many times that with a limited language, we really trap ourselves or make the emotions so much more worse than they could be if we had a word to label them with. Just an idea, something that I've decided to do for myself to increase my emotional language. Okay, so we'll start with some Ujjayi breath, incorporate that into our breathing if you haven't already. We do that by constricting our throat and breathing in and out of our nose. I'm pretty sure a bunch of you already know how to do this, but if you don't, we can practice making that sound by pretending to fog a mirror. Let's do that now. Pretend to fog that mirror. It's that audible quality that we're going for. Let's do that again with our mouth closed. And breathe in. So this is also known as the ocean's breath for that sound. Sounds like the waves lapping at the shore. So we'll incorporate that Ujjayi breath, and I want you to actively direct that breath down into your belly. Deep belly Ujjayi breaths. You can take your hand and put it on your belly to help remind you. As you breathe in, you feel your belly rise. And as you breathe out, you feel your belly going towards your spine, constricting, contracting. Deep belly breaths are an amazing way to calm down the nervous system. It activates the parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and digest state of the body, setting you up for a really peaceful day to give you some space between an action and your response to it emotionally. Let's just stay here with that Ujjayi breath into the belly for a minute more. And with every exhale, we release a little more tension in our body. We'll take 2 more deep breaths in, deep belly breaths. See if you can make them the biggest breaths yet this morning. And you can open your eyes here. The mantra for this class is heal. And when we are healing ourselves, I find that it is not just a straight line. Take a couple steps forward, maybe a step back, maybe some more forward, 3 steps back. And those steps back can be really frustrating at a time that we may get down on ourselves. But it really seems to be the process of healing. I heard this line the other day that you live your life facing forward, and you learn from your life looking back at it. And I do feel like most of my healing, I've only noticed it by looking back at where I've come from, how far I've come. So if you're ever in that moment of taking a couple steps back, look a little further to how far you've come. Remember that you are on your right path, and set that intention to keep going exactly where you want to be. So my mantra is heal. I'd like you all to take a moment here now. You can bring your hands in front of your heart or in front of your third eye, in front of your forehead, and just set your own personal intention. What would you like to receive from this class? Why did you show up today? What is your purpose? Feel peaceful, to exercise your body, to release stress, anxiety, feel more connected to your intuition, whatever it is. Do that to yourself now. Let's take a deep breath in together. Hold it for 3 seconds, 2, 1, and let it out with a big sigh out of the mouth. Wonderful. He's coming back to my mat here. And if you're not on your back, let's lie down on our back here, arms up over our head for a big full body stretch. Freestyle here. Oh, tensing all of your muscles here. Stretching and release. You can take your left hand to the left, right hand to the left. Left foot, right foot to the left here for a nice passive side bend. We're breathing into the right side here, into the ribs. You can even take that right foot and cross it over the left foot for a deeper stretch. Hip flexor here. And breathe. Let's take one more deep breath in. And as we exhale, come back to the middle. Let's take a deep breath in here. And as we exhale, we go over to the right with all our limbs. You can even take that left foot and cross it over the right foot for a deeper stretch in that hip flexor. And breathe. Try to keep both your shoulder blades equally planted, both your sits bones equally planted in this. If the left one starts coming up, you've probably stretched a little too far. Just find some more ease in that position. Let's take one more deep breath in. And as we release, we come back to the middle here. Before we move, I want to remind everyone that my words are simply a guide. Please listen to your body and what you need. You know, if a pose feels good, you can go deeper into it. If you find you can breathe comfortably without holding tension in your body, those are all signs that you can go deeper into the pose. And if you become tense, if your breathing becomes strained, if you find that it's not a stretch, but so much a strain in your body, that's a sign to back away from these poses. If you ever need to rest, you can come to Shavasana, the position that we're in right now on our backs. Or another great restorative or restful position is child's pose. Hands in front or hands in behind you by your feet. So from lying on our backs, we can bring our knees to our chest and give them a nice squeeze here. We'll roll over to one side and slowly, lovingly push ourselves up into a seated position. We can place our left hand on the ground. Breathe in, lifting your right hand up. Breathe out, stretching over to the left, shoulders away from your ears here. And we switch our hands, right hand down, left hand up. And breathe out. We stretch, shoulders again, away from our ears. Breathe in, switching our hands. And breathe out. Shoulders away. Notice your sits bones here. If one starts to lift up, that's a sign we're stretching a bit too far. We want them both evenly planted. Breathe in to switch. Breathe out to bend over. And you can follow this movement to the rhythm of your own breath for a couple of rounds. Really matching the movement to your breath. Breathing in to come up. And breathing out to stretch over. And on our next inhale, we come to a neutral position. We'll do some neck rolls here. Circling down, we breathe out, and we breathe in to circle up. Down to breathe out. Breathing in, we circle up. Down, we breathe out, and let's switch the direction. Breathing in and up the other way. Breathing out and down. In and up. Out, go down. And breathe in, coming to a neutral position here. Wonderful. We can take our hands, left arm, not hand, across your body, right arm like this, just giving your shoulder, your bicep, a nice stretch here. And breathe. The more you pull that right arm, the deeper the stretch is. We'll release. We'll take that right arm across the body, the left arm up and flip back. And breathe. Release, shaking your shoulders out, rolling forward. Staying with that breath and rolling backwards. Wonderful. We'll come into a tabletop position next. Wrists underneath our shoulders, knees underneath our hips. We're going to flow into some cat-cows. So we breathe in, bringing our belly to the ground, shoulders away from the ears, looking up. And we breathe out, arching our back, tucking that tailbone, looking up to your belly button. Breathe in, belly to the floor, shoulders away from the ears, looking up. I like to bend my elbows a little here. Breathe out, arching your back, really pressing your hands into your mat here, pushing your shoulder blades to the ceiling. Breathe in, belly to the floor. And once again, you can do this movement to the rhythm of your own breath, closing your eyes. Really pay attention to all sensations. Exhaling to arch the back. Inhaling to bring the belly to the floor. And you can bring some intuitive movement here. Maybe at the top and the bottom of each bend, you wiggle left and right. Perhaps you make a figure 8 with your body or circles with your hips. Come back into child's pose, whatever feels good here. This is your at-home yoga practice. What do you need today? How can you help yourself heal? We're going to come back sitting on our heels into a child's pose. It can be wide-legged or your knees can be together, your choice. We bring our forehead down to the ground if we can, or you can stack your fists here and bring your forehead to your fists, your choice. We're just really going to take a moment to connect to the earth here, to that grounding, nourishing earth energy that is available to us at any time if we just open ourselves up to receiving it. We open ourselves up to the awareness. So as we're lying here, I want you to imagine breathing in that grounding, nourishing earth energy, filling you up completely. And as you exhale, release any fears, doubts, blocks, stress, anxiety, tension down into the ground. Again, we breathe in, filling ourselves up with energy, with power, and releasing anything that is burdening us down into the ground. You have your forehead on the floor. You can bend your elbows here, bringing your hands together above your head. Yoga with Adrienne Mishler, I believe her last name is. She calls this shark fin. Namaste shark fin, which I think is really cute. And you can scoot your elbows a little further, opening up those shoulders a bit more. One more deep breath in. And as we exhale, lift ourselves up. Come back to that tabletop position. Breathe in, belly to the floor for one more cow position. And as we exhale, we curl our toes under and lift our hips up for our first downward dog of the day. If your downward dog does not look like my downward dog, that is totally okay because we have different bodies. We are aiming to get our hips up in the air. That tailbone is reaching for the ceiling. That low belly is reaching towards your high thighs here. You can bend your knees as much as you need to for a straight back and for that release in the head, the neck, the shoulders. Shake your head yes, shake it no. Maybe pedal out the legs here. It's early in the morning. We're waking our body up. And we can walk our feet slowly but surely to meet our hands, bending our knees again as much as we need to. Coming into a forward fold. Releasing the head, the neck. Grab your elbows here. Just sway to the right. Sway to the left. There's no position like forward fold, that really releases the spine, the neck in the same way. Even when we're lying down, it's not getting this release. So let's just stay here a little longer. Swaying ever so slightly, opening up our spine. Release those elbows. And we'll begin rolling up vertebrae by vertebrae. Keep your eyes closed to really pay attention to the sensations. I love this feeling. When we get to the top, we can breathe in, lifting our hands up over our head. Breathe out, hands together in front of your heart, in front of your chest. Push your 2 thumbs into your chest here to really connect with your heart. Bend your knees a couple times. Lift those toes to really ground through the soles of your feet. And once again, let's connect to that beautiful grounding earth energy. I want you to imagine breathing in, soaking it up through your feet. Breathing it in, filling up your body all the way to the crown chakra. And as we exhale, we release any stress, tension, anxiety, fears, blocks down into the ground. Again, we fill ourselves up. And we release. We'll take a step to the front of our mat. We're going to flow into a sun salutation this morning. Breathe in, lifting your hands above your head. Breathe out, folding forward, bending those knees as much as you need. Breathe in, lifting your body halfway here. You can have your hands on your shins, on your thigh, shoulders away from the ears, and you're really reaching the top of the head towards the wall. Breathe in. Breathe out. We take our hands on the outside of our feet and step the right foot back, lowering into a low lunge. You can point or curl your toes, whatever feels good. Breathe in, we lift up using that left thigh for support, or hands up over your head. As we exhale, we sink a little lower into that lunge, giving your right hip flexor a deep stretch. As we exhale, we take that left foot back to meet the right foot, plank pose. You can lower your knees down if you'd like, or we breathe in, looking forward. We breathe out, lowering down. Pointing your toes, letting your forehead rest on the mat for a moment. Breathe in, lifting your forehead, your chest off the ground for baby cobra. Rounding through that pubic bone. We're lifting through our back muscles. Our hands are merely resting on the ground, not pushing. Shoulders away from the ears and reaching to the wall with the top of our head, our crown chakra. Breathe out, we lower down. Breathe in to lift up. Baby cobra. Breathe out to lower down. This time we're going to push with our hands into cobra. Breathe in, lifting ourselves up a bit. Shoulders still away from the ears. Rounding through that pubic bone. And breathe out, we lower down. Breathe into tabletop position. Curl your toes under, breathe out, downward dog. Bending those knees as much as you need to feel comfortable in this position. You're gonna stabilize that left foot, lift the right foot up as best you can. And breathe out, bringing that knee to your chest, stepping that right foot between your hands, lowering that left knee, pointing or curling those toes, your choice. Breathe in, we come up using that thigh for support, our hands up over our head. Breathe out, we sink deeper into this position, really stretching out that left hip flexor. Deep breath in. As we breathe out, we frame that right foot with our hands. We're going to step the left foot up to meet the right foot into a forward fold. Release. Breathe in, lifting your body halfway, reaching the top of the head towards the wall. Breathe out, release. Breathe in, lifting your hands up over your head, touching them together. Breathe out, hands together in front of your chest, in front of your heart. Let's take a moment to breathe here. Feel your feet against your mat. Feel your thumbs pressing against your chest. Feel your energy already moving in your body. Feels so good. Wonderful. And with that, we're going to do a moon salutation as well. So we bring our hands up over our head. We're going to grab our left wrist with our right hand. And as we breathe out, we've bent over to the right here, giving our left side body a nice stretch. Breathe in to come up. Switching our hands, left hand grabs right wrist. Breathe out, stretching over to the left, giving that nice right side stretch. Your hips will bop to the right here. And try to keep both feet evenly planted. Breathe in to come up, we'll stretch over. The hip wops to the left here. Breathe in to come up, we stretch over, the hip wops to the right. Breathe in, and we come up into a star position for a moment, 5-pointed star. We let our feet, our toes point out, and we're gonna bend our knees, coming into a nice, I forget the position, goddess pose, there we go. We're gonna sway here, tucking our tailbone, bending those elbows, and you can get your hands. I love to do spirit fingers here. I love to sway. This is a challenging position. See if you can ground the soles of your feet, not your arch. Breathe. Can you lift your toes in this position? For 3, 2, 1, we straighten out. Coming back into that 5-pointed star, turning to the left, left foot forward, right foot back, right foot is parallel to the edge of the mat, setting up for Trikonasana. We let our right hip bump to the back of the mat, breathe in, looking forward, breathe out, bending, bringing that left hand to the left shin, opening up your arms, shoulders away from the ears. If that feels good, you can go a little lower, maybe to the ground. Maybe you need a block here or a book to bring the floor to meet you. Got a couple options. Try to keep a micro bend in that front left knee. We don't want to lock the knee. We want to use our muscles to hold us up, not our joints. Breathe in and out. Maybe you can look up. And as we breathe out, we can bring our right hand down, stepping the right foot back a little bit, coming into a low lunge. We stabilize that right hand, breathe in, lifting the left hand up for a side twist here. Giving your left glute a nice stretch, opening up your chest, your back. As we breathe out, we frame that left foot and step it back. Plank pose. Oh, sorry, not plank pose. We'll keep that left foot forward. Sorry about that, everyone. I got so into the sun salutation again. So we're gonna keep that left foot forward. We're gonna walk our hands forward, coming into that wonky side pose. So we flex that right foot up. And we can keep our hands right in front of us here. If this is where you are today, stay here. If this doesn't work, you can even come up a little higher, starting here and slowly working to bring our bottoms down. If you are able to bring your hands together in front of your chest, I like to use this left elbow to push that left knee back, and that gives me some stability. So we breathe in. Our wonky side pose, and we breathe out. If you fall down, no worries. Just get right back into it. Breathe in, walking our hands forward. We come up, bring our feet closer together. Heels in, toes out. We come down into a yogi squat. You can keep your hands in front of you if that's where you are today. Or you can bring your hands together in front of your chest using both elbows against the knees to help open them up. If you're able to have a flat foot, wonderful. If not, just stay up on your toes. That is wonderful too. Maybe we work to bring ourselves down. Another thing about yoga, spooky squat, is the flat back here. Bringing that tailbone to the ground and shoulders away from the ears. Let's take a couple deep breaths in here. See if you can release tension. I often, without noticing, hold it within my groin, within my glutes in this position. It's awkward for me in the poses where we stick our bums out or open up our groin. But it really has gotten easier over the years. From here, we're gonna lift our bottoms up, widen our stance, and come onto the right for that wonky side pose. We flex those left toes up. We can leave our hands on the ground here in front, or we bring them together in front of our chest. And breathe. If this feels uncomfortable, make a tweak. Don't sit in the discomfort. Yoga is all about being comfortable in these positions, doing these positions with comfort and ease. And when we take care of ourselves on the mat, help heal ourselves on the mat, we're gonna do that in the rest of our lives as well. Let's take a couple more deep breaths here. Wonderful. And we're gonna frame that right foot pivoting, coming into a low lunge. Let's stabilize that left hand on the ground, firmly planting it, and lift that right hand up for that side twist. Opening up the chest, the back, feeling a stretch in your right glute. Breathe out, we bring that right hand down. We're gonna lift ourselves up, setting up for our Trikonasana triangle pose. So our left foot is parallel to the edge of the mat. Our right foot is parallel to the length of the mat, facing forward. We bump our left hip to the back, breathe in, opening up our hands, micro bend in that right knee, breathe out. We bring our right hand down to our right shin, shoulders away from our ears. If this feels good, try the floor. In Trikonasana, we're not collapsing in our body, but we're using our abdominals here. We're not locking our knees so that we can use our muscles to hold ourselves up. You can look down at the ground, or maybe look up. I never thought when I first started yoga that I could look up in this position. And it's fun to notice that today it's easy for me. It's really cool. Okay, another deep breath in lifts us back up. We bring that right foot in slightly, heels in, toes out, and we bend into that goddess pose again, tucking that tailbone, trying to get those thighs as parallel to the ground as we can. Bend those elbows, get the spirit fingers going, and sway here. You are a strong goddess. Getting that feminine energy flowing, that curiosity, that creative, that nurturing, that healing. Breathe in, we come into that 5-pointed star. We hop our feet together. Take a deep breath in, Lifting our arms above our hand, right hand grabs left wrist. Breathe out, bending over to the right, left hip bops to the left. Breathe in to come up, left wrist grabs right hand, bending over to the left, right hip bops to the right, keeping those feet evenly planted. Breathe in to come up. Switching our hands, breathe out to bend over. Breathe in to come up, switching our hands. Breathe out to bend over. Breathe in to come up. Bring your hands together, breathe out. Hands together in front of your chest, in front of your heart. Let's take some deep breaths here. I forgot to do our full moon pose, so let's take a couple moments to play around with our full moon, and then we'll go to the ground. So from our Trikonasana, we can bring our hand down. We're going to kick up. So that left hand comes forward, that right foot comes off the ground, and we try to stack our hips here. So this is half moon pose. And I kind of made this up, but when you grab the foot, I like to call this full moon. So you can play around with this, with your balance, wherever you are today. And we'll release it down. Breathe in to come up. And we'll do the same thing on the other side. We come into Trikonasana. We step forward, right hand in front of the right foot, left foot comes off the ground, and we stack our hips here, stack our arms. This is a half moon breathing. We can bend that leg behind us and open it up into full moon. If you can't, just try, do whatever you can to practice getting there. Maybe you just move the back foot. Maybe coming into half moon is all you do. Maybe you're still just trying to come into half moon, wherever you are. It's all good. And we'll release that as well. Breathing in to come up. Breathing out, hands together in front of your chest, in front of your heart. Wonderful. And please make your way to the ground, however feels good to you. Well done. The hardest part of the class is over. All the standing positions. We're going to start with a Baddha Konasana on the ground, butterfly pose. Bringing our feet together, hips as close or far away from the groin as feels good for you. So play around with how close you bring your hips towards your body, trying to find a place that's comfortable. So we're grounding through our seat bones here. And as we open up in Baddha Konasana, your knees fall to the ground and your feet open. A little book here. If you're able to lift yourself up in this position, please do. Rounding through your sits bones. Stop tall and straight spine. Shoulders roll back and down. We breathe in. You need to grab your ankles and help yourself up. And breathe out. We walk our hands forward. Coming into a nice stretch. You don't need to bend far to feel a deep stretch. So listen to your body. Wherever you need to stop, please do. And then release that head and neck down. You have some blocks or a cushion. You can rest your head on that or a blanket. Again, at home yoga practice, grab whatever is around you that would enhance this class. And we'll just release for a minute here, breathing into the sensation. Stay with your breath in this position. Every time you notice your mind wandering, just bring it back to the breath, to the feeling of the stretch, maybe to the sounds in the room, something in this present moment. Let's take 3 more deep breaths in. And we'll breathe in, lifting ourselves up. You can sit back here, let your knees fall to the left or to the right. Just countering that pose. We're going to open our legs up into a wide-legged seated position, as wide as is comfortable for you. Trying to ground through those seat bones again and lift through the spine. If that's difficult for you, grab your thighs here and use them to help you. And roll your shoulders back and prop yourself up. We breathe in. And as we breathe out, we walk our hands forward, folding. Once again, we do not need to hold hard to feel a deep stretch. Listen to you and your body. And wherever feels good, we can release that head, that neck down. We'll be here for another minute. Make any adjustments you need. You might find you have more space as you stay in this position. If it feels good, go deeper into the pose. If you need to back away from the pose, do that. Three more deep breaths in. And on your next breath, we inhale, lifting ourselves up. We'll bring our feet together. And we're gonna roll onto our backs here. You can bring your knees into your chest, giving them a nice squeeze. Open up your arms into a T shape and let your knees fall to the right here, giving your body a nice spinal twist. And you can look to the left, remembering that your neck is an extension of your spine, giving it a really thorough twist. Try to keep both shoulder blades planted on the mat. Breathe in, lifting your knees up. Breathe out, letting them fall to the left here. And looking over to the right, try to keep your shoulder blades both against the ground evenly. Breathe in, releasing your left. One last squeeze. Let our knees or feet fall to the ground. Your knees can fall to the left and to the right again. Just while you open up your legs, setting up for your final position, Shavasana. And open your legs as wide as the mat, hands by your hips, facing up or down, maybe on your stomach, maybe one on your belly, one on your heart, yogi's choice. Press your head into the ground for a moment, lifting your chest up and tucking your shoulders under and lower them back down flush with the mat. It's a subtle change, but it feels really good. Subtle adjustment. Let's take a deep breath in here. Holding for 3, 2, 1, and release out the mouth with a sigh. And smile. You're finished, well done. Smile and be proud of yourself for taking this time for yourself to heal. We'll be here for a couple minutes. I'll raise the volume a little bit. Skylar, how about a 2-minute Shavasana and we'll jump into the energy update? Okay.
Yeah, that's perfect.
As you're breathing here, connect with that intention that you made at the beginning of the class. And if your mind wanders, just remind it, you are exactly where you need to be. The time spent on yourself is so important. It will only allow you to show up for the rest of your day, your life with more presence, awareness, and purpose. Wonderful. I'm going to pass it along to Skylar now. You can stay where you are in your Shavasana and simply listen.
Amazing. Just listening now, lying down or staying seated, whatever feels comfortable for you. Bringing awareness to your breath and checking in with your body. After your yoga class, how do you feel now? Restored, relaxed. Maybe bring your hand to your heart and one hand to your stomach. Checking in here and now. Do you notice any tension in your body now? Bring your breath to the space. Sending breath to those sticky, stiff, tense places. Let your breath support you in creating expansion. The next few weeks is all about transformations with relationships, transformations with money, and transformations with self. In order to allow for those transformations to occur, we must create space in our body. In this meditation now, that is what we will be doing. Visualize a bubble floating in front of you with a magnet in the center of the bubble. This magnet is charged to attract the stress, the overwhelm, and the frustration, and any anger, any tension or emotions that are ready to release. Allow this magnet in the bubble to take this away from your body and bring it into the space just outside of your body to be neutralized now. And breathe. Anything from your past, from this week, from this month, from your life that is ready to let go. Allow it to move into this magnet now, into the bubble, into the space. Any last emotions, traumas, allow them to release now. Breathe in spaciousness. And as you do so, you can see white light entering your body from the top of your head, your crown chakra. This white light creates space in your body, healing energy to nourish those spaces that might feel slightly empty. Healing white light energy comes all throughout your body now. This healing light neutralizes any darkness in your body. Healing cells and neural pathways in your brain, thought patterns. Universal love is pouring into every cell of your body now. New desires, new beginnings is what the future holds for you. Breathe in now. The transformations have occurred. You are ready to integrate your balanced energy back into the world now. Feel free to slowly stretch and nourish yourself in any last ways you feel that is right for you. Know that in the next few weeks, with this moon energy as well as the eclipses, transformations will be occurring. And allow yourself to really center in and notice these transformations. As we resist them, that is what creates the stress in our lives. So allow for the transformations that are about to occur to come in with ease. New beginnings and financial abundance, relationships, and relationship with self. Thank you so much for coming this morning. And I hope you enjoyed this meditation and Adriana's yoga.
Thank you, Skylar. Oh, I always love your energy updates, and I love all your meditations as well. That was beautiful. Oh, exactly what I needed. Oh, I love doing this work. It really just makes me feel tingly and warm inside. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming. If you want to say hello, a little word before you head out, please do. And I'll see you next month.